The Alchemy of Giving. Sadaqa is a purifier of the soul. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. In the spiritual science of Islam, every action is imbued with a deeper meaning and a metaphysical purpose. We often speak of Sadaqa, or charity, in terms of its social benefit, the act of helping the poor, the destitute, and the needy. But for the Sufi masters, this was merely the outward form of a profound spiritual act. They taught that Sadaqa is a form of spiritual alchemy, a powerful and a divine art that transforms a temporary worldly possession into a means of purifying the soul, of cleansing the heart from its spiritual ailments, and of attracting the profound and a beautiful grace of Allah. Today, we will delve into the profound and the hidden dimensions of Sadaqa. We will not be discussing the jurisprudence of giving, but its spiritual and its transformative power. We will explore how Sadaqa acts as a potent antidote to the spiritual diseases of the ego, how it works according to the metaphysical laws of the universe, and how its practice is a direct path to a heart that is filled with divine grace. This is a lecture on how to turn the act of giving from a simple obligation into a profound and a life-changing spiritual science. Part 1. Sadaqa as an antidote to the Nafs. The human ego, or the Nafs, is prone to a specific and a dangerous set of spiritual diseases. It loves to possess, to hoard, and to control. Its primary spiritual ailment is greed, or tima, and an insatiable love for the world, or hubb al-dunya. These spiritual diseases create a powerful and a thick veil between the servant and their creator. A heart that is consumed by its attachment to the temporal world has no room for the love of Allah. Sadaqa is the most powerful and a direct antidote to these spiritual toxins. It is a deliberate and an active defiance of the ego's possessiveness. When a person gives away their wealth, their time, or their possessions for the sake of Allah, they are directly challenging the power of their nafs. They are telling their ego that it is not in control, that the true owner of all things is Allah alone, and that they, as a servant, are merely a steward of His blessings. This act of defiance is a form of spiritual surgery, a profound and a necessary act of cleansing that purifies the heart from its attachment to the world. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said the believer's shade on the day of resurrection will be his charity. This profound saying reveals a deeper truth. Sadaqa is not just about giving something away. It is a spiritual act that is designed to transform the inner state of the giver. The physical act of giving is the external manifestation of an inner state of detachment from the world and an attachment to Allah. A person who is constantly giving is a person who is in a constant state of spiritual purification, and their heart is being prepared to meet its Creator. Part 2. The spiritual laws of giving. The act of Sadaqa operates according to a profound and a beautiful set of spiritual laws, a metaphysical science that is at the very heart of the Sufi path. These laws, though they may seem to contradict the material laws of the world, are the very foundation of a spiritual life. The first spiritual law is the law of increase, or Barakah, the Quran states. The example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a grain which grows 7 spikes, and each spike is 100 grains, and Allah multiplies for whom He wills. This profound and a beautiful parable reveals that giving does not decrease wealth. It spiritually and metaphysically increases it. The Barakah of Sadaqa is a divine grace that makes a small amount of wealth feel sufficient, and it brings a profound and a beautiful spiritual contentment. The wealth of a person who gives is not just in their bank account. It is in the heart of Allah, and it is a treasure that will never be lost. The second spiritual law is the law of purification. Sadaqa purifies not just the heart of the giver, but also the wealth itself. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Give in charity, for it purifies you and increases your wealth." Wealth that has been given for the sake of Allah is purified from any unlawful taint, and it is blessed with a divine grace that makes it a source of profound and a beautiful spiritual growth. A person who gives Sadaqa is a person who is actively working to ensure that their wealth is a source of barakah and a spiritual growth, not a source of spiritual corruption. The third spiritual law is the law of divine exchange. From a material perspective, giving is an act of loss. But from a spiritual perspective, it is a profound and a beautiful act of gain. The Sufis taught that Sadaqa is a form of divine transaction, where a temporary and a fleeting material possession is exchanged for an eternal and a profound spiritual reward. It is a trade where the seeker is giving a small part of the temporal world and is receiving an eternal treasure in the spiritual world. The Quran states, "Who is it that would loan Allah a goodly loan so he may multiply it for him, and he will have a noble reward?" This verse frames Sadaqa not as an act of charity, but as an act of lending to the King of Kings, a loan that will be repaid with a profound and a beautiful reward. Part 3. The Inner Dimensions of Sadaqa. Sincerity and secrecy. The power of Sadaqa does not lie in the amount that is given, but in the sincerity of the heart that is giving it. The Sufi masters taught that the inner state of the giver is the primary determinant of whether Sadaqa will be a source of spiritual purification or a source of spiritual corruption. The first and the most important inner dimension of Sadaqa is sincerity or ikhlas. The giving must be for Allah alone, not for praise, not for recognition, and not for worldly gain. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The best of charity is that which is given with the right hand, and the left hand does not know what the right hand has given." This profound and a beautiful saying reveals the importance of secrecy. Giving in secret is a direct battle against the ego's desire for praise and its need for recognition. It is an act of pure and an unadulterated love for Allah alone. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also said that one of the 7 people who will be shaded on the Day of Judgment is a person who gives a charity in secret, such that his left hand does not know what his right hand has given. This reveals a profound truth. A Sadaqa that is given in secret. It's a Sadaqa that is infused with a divine grace. That makes it a source of profound and a beautiful spiritual purity. It is an act that is so pure that it transcends the limitations of the ego and its need for recognition. The highest form of Sadaqa is to give when one is in a state of need themselves. This is an act of profound and a beautiful self-sacrifice. It is a state of being where a person is willing to put the needs of their brother or their sister before their own. This is a direct and a powerful manifestation of a heart that is in a state of complete and an absolute reliance on Allah. It is an act that is infused with a divine grace that makes it a source of profound and a beautiful spiritual growth. Part 4. Sadaqa as a bridge to divine mercy. Sadaqa is not just an act of giving. It is a profound and a beautiful act of mercy. When a person gives to the poor and the needy, they are reflecting the divine attributes of mercy and a compassion. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said the merciful are shown mercy by the most merciful. This saying reveals a profound and a beautiful spiritual law. An act of mercy towards creation is an act of mercy towards the Creator. Sadaqa is a bridge that connects the giver to the divine mercy of Allah. When a person gives to others, they are opening the doors of divine mercy and a forgiveness for themselves. As Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Charity extinguishes sin as water extinguishes fire." This profound and a beautiful saying reveals that Sadaqa is a spiritual act that has the power to cleanse the heart from its sins. It is a spiritual medicine that heals the wounds of the heart and prepares it to receive the profound and a beautiful grace of Allah. Sadaqa is also a powerful tool for a profound spiritual humility. When a person gives to the poor and the needy, they are reminded of their own spiritual poverty and of the omnipotent power of Allah. They are reminded that all the blessings that they have are from Allah alone, and that they are merely a steward of His blessings. This sense of humility is a powerful antidote to the spiritual disease of pride, or kibba, and it is a state of being that is a source of profound and a beautiful spiritual growth. Part 5. The Prophetic Model, the Master of Giving. The life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the ultimate and a perfect model for the spiritual science of Sadaqa. His generosity was legendary. He was the most generous of all people, and his generosity was at its peak in the month of Ramadan, when he was more generous than the blowing wind. The Prophet's generosity was not just a matter of giving away his possessions. It was a direct and a profound manifestation of his inner state. His heart was so detached from the temporal world and so attached to Allah that he was a person who could not hold on to anything for himself. He would give away everything that he had, and he would often go to sleep on an empty stomach because he had given away everything that he had. The Prophet's giving was a spiritual act that was infused with a profound and a beautiful grace. He would give with a profound sense of humility, a profound sense of compassion, and a profound sense of a love for all of creation. His giving was a direct and a perfect reflection of his perfect tawhid, his profound and an unwavering love for Allah. His generosity is a testament to the fact that the spiritual science of Sadaqa is not just an act of giving, but a state of being, a state of a heart that is so purified that it is a source of profound and a beautiful grace for all of creation. Sadaqa is a profound spiritual science that has the power to transform both the giver and the recipient. It is a tool for spiritual purification. It's a path to a heart that is filled with a profound and an enduring love for Allah. The alchemy of giving is not a magical trick. It is a spiritual reality. Its door is always open to every single human being who is willing to take up this sacred and a profound spiritual art. As we conclude this profound exploration, I invite you all to reflect on the state of your own hearts and to consider how you can apply the spiritual science of giving in your daily lives. Join us next time on Sufi Essence as we delve into another profound aspect of our faith.